What's going on, guys? KEVINCAGE here with another crypto update. Let's dive right into today's video. So kicking things off, this was shared by Cointelegraph 2 days ago. We have Franklin Templeton reports its XRP spot ETF holding of 53.22 million XRP, valued at over $107 million, with NAV or net asset value at 78 million. Now I found a new website that I'm going to start referencing going forward to properly track the XRP ETF AUM. And I saw this shared by Neil Tolbert, and the website is right here, xrp-insights.com. And what I like about this is, of course, you can see the price, but you can see the total AUM of XRP ETFs, so 984 million, so coming up on 1 billion. We can see real-time tracking of daily volume, and the markets are open right now. So we have Bitwise, Franklin Templeton, Canary Capital, Rex Osprey, and Grayscale, so the spot XRP ETFs. So I'm happy I finally found this website. I'm sure some of you guys were already tracking here, but I'm not going to be using the block XRP tracker anymore because we can see that it's not even updating the AUM. For Franklin Templeton, it shows 2.2 million. And on XRP Insights, we can see Franklin Templeton 59 million XRP, and then we have the AUM down below, and this is properly reflecting the AUM, 129 million. So I was definitely wondering or questioning myself the past few days because we know that Franklin Templeton is absolutely massive. I mean, their AUM is anywhere from 1.5 trillion to 1.6 trillion. Now, I did a video back in September, $8 billion potential with spot XRP ETFs, and I was referencing this tweet looking at the ratio of spot Ethereum ETF AUM versus Ethereum's market cap and doing the same thing for XRP. So looking at that potential with that same ETF ratio, that would be 8.83 billion in potential spot ETF AUM for XRP. And as always, this is not financial advice, this is just looking at the Ethereum ETF ratio and assuming the same thing for XRP, so basically $8 to $9 billion in potential. And I absolutely believe we get there in due time. We're almost up to $1 billion thus far, and looking at the other spot issuers for an XRP spot ETF, we have a lot others that are still pending. So we have CoinShares, 21 shares, WisdomTree, etc. And so just thinking about total assets under management today in the 5 XRP spot ETFs at 984 million for the $8.83 billion projection based on Ethereum's ratio, that is almost a 9x from today. Alright, next up, so I've seen this picture circulating a lot online related to QE and all of the phases that we've seen, and QE, or quantitative easing, began in 2008. In the largest QE period that we've ever seen and the biggest market pump that we've seen for risk on assets, including the crypto asset class, began in March 2020, which was here. In the big recent news, just on December 1st or December 2nd right here, is QT, or quantitative tightening, has officially ended. And they say verbatim on Yahoo Finance, by officially putting an end to QT on December 1st, the US Federal Reserve has initiated the first steps for liquidity expansion. So QT, or tightening the money supply, has ended. Now, I have not seen any official announcement that they have begun QE, but we could see this in 2026, and that would be very bullish. If we have to go back to March 2020, we saw a huge crash across global markets, and since then they began essentially printing money or creating money out of nothing and buying up treasuries. So just keep this in the back of your mind. If we see QE and rate cuts like an environment that we saw back in 2020 that's very bullish, and then eventually they ended QE, maybe in the beginning of 2022, and then we saw tightening since then. So if this chart turns around in the future and we see another phase of QE, which we basically have to at some point to keep this debt-based system going, expect a lot of risk on assets to perform very well. And nothing in this video is financial advice, but I strongly believe that risk on assets like the crypto asset class is highly tied to global liquidity. And what happens until then, we have no idea. Do we crash a lot further? Do we just range? We don't know. There are a million things going on with tariffs, geopolitical tensions with Venezuela, Nigeria, between Russia, Ukraine, and Europe. There are so many things going on. And I really hope you guys enjoyed my X Spaces that I hosted 2 days ago diving into QE. Alright, next up, if you guys haven't seen this already, we got some very good news for Hedera and its asset HBAR by Anchorage Digital. So we can see that Anchorage Digital is deepening institutional access to Hedera, so now available for custody support. So why is this relevant? And we know that Anchorage Digital has already supported XRP for a while. They are a qualified or regulated qualified custodian under United States law. And they've already built out a full stack for custody, for segregating client assets, trading, settlements, and DeFi support. So like they say, a federal charter and a $10 billion issuance cap, so a state-regulated stablecoin issuer. So why is this news relevant for the crypto space? Because Anchorage Digital is a very legitimate player. They are a regulated, qualified custodian, and they're making a variety of projects and protocols a lot more accessible to big players, like funds, institutions, and other companies. I also get a lot of questions, people asking about taking loans using their crypto holdings, and in this environment, I am not interested in that whatsoever, but I've seen a few on the market. I've seen Arch, but as far as I can tell, a lot of these platforms are only supporting Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. And I've seen this one as well. This is Figure, so this is figure.com, and then this is archlending.com. If you want to check these out, this is not a paid sponsorship, I'm just pointing out what I've seen. We're not seeing a variety of assets supported today. So we're starting to see different ways to do collateral-backed loans for the major assets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, but I hope to see in the future this to be widely accepted throughout the United States for a variety of alts. We will see this in the future for a variety of alts, but it's really just a matter of regulation. We are not fully regulated just yet. So I don't know about you, but when we are seeing or just saw cascading liquidations, liquidation spirals that are just a feedback loop of crazy flash wicks to the downside, I'm not trying to take any crypto-backed loans right now. But we'll definitely keep tabs because this is an avenue that I want to go in the future after more bull runs, obviously not today. Alright, next up, I saw this shared by Crypto Caesars. We have Bitcoin Magazine announcing, CFTC announces spot Bitcoin and crypto can now trade on CFTC registered exchanges. So this was all announced that the listed spot cryptocurrency products will begin trading for the first time in United States federally regulated markets on CFTC registered futures exchanges. And like they say, this is definitely a step in the right direction to make America the crypto capital of the world. We also really want the Clarity Act to go through and get passed in 2026, which would be a big deal for the crypto asset class to get regulated, basically dividing the jurisdiction between the CFTC and the SEC. So they can properly regulate a bunch of crypto assets. If it's a protocol that has utility as decentralized, it could be classified as a commodity or a digital commodity. Or if the SEC argues that it's an investment contract, they're going to regulate it as a security. And all of this is super complex, it's going to take time, but I want this to go through because then we are a step closer to getting regulation for RWAs. We already had the Genius Act for stablecoins. And why do I emphasize it is so important to get RWAs fully regulated? Because we can see a variety of reports by Ripple and BCG that the predictions could be up to 18.9 trillion by 2033. When this report came out around April, we are estimated at 600 billion compared to 18 or 19 trillion. And you can search this report from Ripple's website with Ripple and BCG. Now when we go to page 4, we have this, estimated growth in tokenization through 2033. We have an optimistic scenario of 23.4 trillion and then a conservative scenario of 12.5 trillion. And friendly reminder, the entire crypto asset class is right around $3 trillion. And when we compare it to other global markets, I think you guys know it is extremely small, even comparing to gold, almost $30 trillion, and we have silver at 3.23 trillion. So even silver's market cap alone, a single precious metal, is higher than the entire crypto asset class. And I could go on, looking at the S&P 500's market cap, almost $58 trillion. And we all know Larry Fink over at BlackRock, and he's basically said that everything will be tokenized at some point, including this value. So I know there is a bunch of chaos and uncertainty in markets everywhere, and I will continue to say this over and over again. Bitcoin dominance has not crashed. When Bitcoin dominance crashed, those were the last two alt seasons. Do we get it? Do we get another alt season where Bitcoin dominance crashes as Bitcoin, the US dollar price chart, goes up? We don't know. But I'm going to keep talking about that because those are the last two alt seasons that I personally experienced in 2017 and 2021. We have not seen Bitcoin dominance crash. We've had a lot going on for the company Ripple. We can see valued at $40 billion. We had a variety of acquisitions related to custody, stablecoin payments, treasuries, etc. I'm losing my voice here, but we've had several groups also join the S&P 500, including Coinbase, The Block, and Robinhood. We've had Circle raising $1 billion in a US IPO, even Kraken basically filing for an IPO. So we have a lot going on and a lot to look forward to, and I also have iTrustCapital linked in the top of this YouTube video description. And I've had my Roth IRA with iTrustCapital since January of 2020. And if you haven't already, be sure to go check them out using the link in the video description. And you can choose what's right for you, whether you want a Roth IRA with tax-free growth or a non-IRA account with a premium custody account, or you could have both. And they also have a promotion going on, stuck with the crypto IRA that's pricey, outdated, or holding you back. And that was me years ago before iTrustCapital with my Roth IRA with BitIRA. We can see down below, 'tis the season of switching, so now we can earn a 2% match bonus when you transfer your crypto in kind to iTrust. So I hope everybody enjoyed today's video. A huge thank you to all that hit the like button, and I will catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the like button and let me know your thoughts down below. You can find all links to my crypto resources, including tools for charting, trading bots, wallets, portfolio trackers, and exclusive discounts right in my link tree in the video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.